Hey guys, it's Justine here from I Should Read That, and today I'm just bringing you a very short video. This is my TBR for the Februwitchy Readathon, which is being hosted by one of my good friends, Asha, who is a book blogger at A Cat, a Book, and a Cup of Tea. And I will go ahead and link both her blog down below as well as the Twitter announcement for this February readathon. So this readathon is really well timed and it sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of the witchy stuff in the bookish community and elsewhere seems to happen in October for obvious reasons, but there's no real reason why we can't have a super fun witchy readathon in February. So this is going to help kind of brighten up these bleak winter days a little bit, and I'm really looking forward to this. It's going to be so much fun. It is also going to be really helpful for me because it will not only help me read more backlist titles, but it's also helping me with a couple of my goals for 2020. I wanted to participate in more readathons because I'm absolutely terrible at them, and I really want to participate in those readathons because it'll help me read down my TBR. And as you may know, I want to get my TBR down as in some way. As long as it is less at the end of 2020 than it is at the beginning, I'm gonna be happy. But that's gonna be really difficult, so I think that this readathon and others are really gonna help. So the Februwitchy Readathon runs for the entire month of February, from the 1st to the 29th. There are no real prompts here, which I love because prompts can get really complicated. So the only sort of requirements for this readathon is to read books with the word witch in the title, or books in which the main character is a witch. And nonfiction also counts, so if you have books about, say, the Salem witch trials, those are going to count. For this readathon, you can actually win a prize at the end, so you will earn broomsticks by doing the following: posting a witchy TBR with the hashtag Februwitchy. You can finish an eligible book to earn broomsticks, and you can participate in the reading sprints. All of this is posted on Twitter. Again, I've linked that down below, so you can go ahead and check it out. The person with the most broomsticks at the end of the readathon wins a book of their choice up to £10. So you can go ahead and, I believe in that thread, she's posted like a spreadsheet type thing, so she can like remind you of like dates and stuff like that and when this is gonna happen. So I'm really excited, not just because my friend is running this, but also because I really love readathons, and as I said, I'm absolutely terrible at them. I find this kind of thing so much fun to have like the community reading together, so I'm very much looking forward to this, and I have picked 5 books that I'm hoping, fingers crossed, to read in February for this readathon. The very first book that I've picked for this readathon is Labyrinth Lost by Zoraida Cordova. This follows a character named Alex, who is one of the Brooklyn Brujas, and she hates her magic, and she tries to perform a spell to make her magic vanish, and instead her family vanishes into thin air. So this sounds really fun. I have the second book, which is Bruja Born, that I bought ages ago because I love the cover, not realizing that it was the second book in a series. So I need to read this and actually return it to Asha because I'm borrowing it from her, and then hopefully I'll be able to actually read one of the books on my TBR that's been sitting there forever. This is one that I've heard some mixed things about. People either seem to really love it, or they seem to not really enjoy it as much. I've not heard anyone reading this recently. I think it's a slightly older book. It's from 2016, so it's not that old. But I know so little about this except for the fact that it's a little bit divisive. So I'm super excited to get my own opinion on this. The next book that I have is The Bone Witch by Rin Chipeko. This is a book I've been meaning to read for absolute ages and ages, and I've heard amazing things about this series, and I really enjoy the author kind of on a personal level. I know so little about this except it's about necromancy, which I love necromancy. It's such a fun topic in fantasy, and I feel like it doesn't get covered as much as it could. So this is one I'm really hyped for. I'm so excited to finally give myself the kick up the butt that I needed to pick this series up. Then I have Wind Witch by Susan Dennard. This has been on a variety of TBRs since 2018 when I read Truth Witch. I don't know why I haven't picked this up yet. It's just sat on my shelf for absolute ages, and this is the perfect chance to read this book. So the first book follows 2 characters named Safia and someone else, I can't remember her name. And Iseult, her name is Iseult, and they are best friends. One is a truth witch, which means that she can kind of tell when people are telling the truth or when they're lying, which is an incredibly rare and much sought after ability. And I think the other is a thread witch, so she can see kind of the connections between everyone and everything. This sounds super fun. I loved the first book. I really, really enjoyed it, and I just need to get cracking on this series because I think there's another one coming up soon. I've literally got them all on my shelf. There's 4 books. It's silly that they're just sitting there. So hopefully I'm gonna finally get to Wind Witch. Then I have The Furies by Katie Lowe. This is a book that came out last year. It was a debut novel, and it was one I was so excited for, but for some reason just fell between the cracks for me. I don't really know why. But this book follows, I believe it's a first-person narrator, and she's reflecting on the past to 1998 when a girl was found dead of no apparent causes on a swing on school grounds, and she has something to do with it in some way. I know that this book was blurbed by the screenwriter for The Craft, so I'm hoping that we get some real good 90s witchy goodness from this book, but it sounds amazing and I've heard really good things about it. And the last book that I have on my TBR for this readathon, I feel may be a big mistake, because it's a children's book and I have a sneaking suspicion it's gonna just absolutely tear my heart out of my chest, but I'm gonna give it a try anyway. This is Gulino, the Witch's Cat by Ursula Marais Williams. This is about a cat who is a witch's cat, and he doesn't want to be a witch's cat. He wants to be a normal kitchen cat who like catches mice and snuggles up with his nice family. So he runs away and he wants to find his own family, but no one trusts him. And like, this is gonna make me cry so much. And I was telling my friends that I was gonna read this for the readathon. They were like, oh, okay, good. And now I'm really nervous. But I do love children's books. This has been sitting on my shelf for ages. I had never heard about this before, but a good friend of mine kept pointing it out in bookshops as a book that she loved as a child, so I decided to pick it up. I'm probably gonna sob my entire way through it. So that is it for my TBR for the Februwitchy Readathon. I hope you guys get to participate. I hope that you're excited about this too. I think it's gonna be really, really fun, and I love new and kind of unique readathons that come along, so I think this is gonna be great. I would love to hear if you're planning on participating in this readathon, if it sounds like something that would be interesting to you, what books you hope to read, and also if you've read any of these, let me know what you thought. I post bookish content to this channel fairly frequently, so go ahead and hit subscribe, check back soon, and I will see you next time.